Right, Mr. Brain, let's do it. I was going to say welcome back there as well. But you were on the last one.
Last one?
It was the last one. Yeah. So let's do it again, and we're going to be on. Well, you're going to be on. We're going to be on them all, aren't we?
Everyone will be sick of hearing from us.
Why not? So how we're going to play it is we're going to use a topic each week. We've dedicated weeks to these ones now. Dan's going to do a topic, I'm going to do a topic, and we're just going to go off the belt. Obviously, we're going to try and bring in some more other guests as well. I have been messaging people. Kieran, Sandy, I've been messaging them. I want
big names,
big names in the barbell industry. But Sandy will be mint because when I was messaging her, it was like, well, you've been here close to 11 years.
I mean, after me, you and Sarah, there's probably not many people who've been here longer.
Elaine and Sandy.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. She is every morning, cracking on, doing burpees for fun. So this one's all about excuses and versus reality. So don't turn off if you feel as though you've got excuses in the head. We're just here to sort of elaborate on them all and give our take. And this isn't us. Oh, we probably will go ranty, won't we?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
It's a weird thing. Yes and no. And I think it's important to sort of explain we're not going to be coming at this from the point of all excuses are rubbish. It's this, that, and the other. Just sort your shit out and just do it, because there's far more to it than that.
Yeah.
We all make excuses. That's not, whether or not we make excuses or everyone makes excuses isn't up for debate here. What it is why do you make the excuses? And do those excuses push you either further away from where you want to be or closer? Because not all excuses are bad excuses.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could probably categorize them into 3 categories, in the sense of obstructive, which are real life things. And these are going to come up for everyone. Like, as much as we say no excuses, like if you get stuck in traffic coming home from work, there's fuck all you can do. If it's every single week, in every single leg day, then we might start asking questions. But you're going to get these obstructive excuses that just you can't do much about. Yes, you can find systems to work around them, but they're there whether we like it or not. Then there's the deceptive ones, and these are probably the ones that we're going to get into more, where people are lying to themselves, and it's the reason and behind why are you lying to yourself, and ultimately it's a self-protection mechanism. Because they don't want to accept why they're not doing something. And it's like cognitive dissonance explains when there's a gap between like what you want to be and what you do, it really messes with your brain. In the sense, if you really actually want to be a fit and healthy person, which most people who are here do, but you aren't engaged in those behaviours, that's really damaging to your psyche. So therefore, excuses bridge that gap and they make that failure more palatable.
Yeah.
And it's a way to allow you to live with yourself. It's the same as obviously deception theory and all that sort of things, where we're trying to protect ourselves. Our brain will create an alternative
human
reality
nature, isn't it? Yeah.
To protect ourselves. And also, I think, exercise and diet, there's a lot of physiological reasons, like why your body wants to create resilience. In the sense of everyone always thinks of excuses as being related to hard things. It's nothing to do with hard things, it's uncomfortable things. Because things can make you uncomfortable and you can make excuses to avoid them that don't necessarily have to be hard. For example, I'm sure me and you would both quite easily come up with an excuse to avoid going to a social event.
I was just thinking in my head.
If the lads text us saying how we'll go out for the beers, and you
Christenings, definitely I can avoid them.
The thing with that is, it doesn't create any negative connotations because it doesn't create cognitive dissonance, because we're choosing not to do that thing because it's pushing us further away from the people we want to be. So we're comfortable with that. It's when it's the opposite way, and it's pushing you, you know it's something you should do, but you're stopping yourself from doing it. That's where you get the problems, and that's why it's important to address these issues.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes other than us just saying, we just fucking do it. If that's what you want to do, just turn up and do it. But the problem is, ultimately that is the answer.
Yeah.
Because unless you actually do it, you're never going to get to where you want to be, and you're always going to have these psychological obstructions that make you feel like shit. And it's trying to come up with systems, come up with sort of coaching language to make people see through these excuses and basically like, look, it's not a valid excuse. You're lying to yourself, and we need to find a way to fix that. And obviously that's the art of coaching, essentially.
Yeah.
Trying to find the balance, which we'll go into when you sort of bring up the questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to frame it in the sense of we're not just two dumb coaches here sitting where it's dead easy. You can just turn up and do what we're telling you to do. Like, we understand what's going behind the scenes. We understand the psychological, physiological, all of the things that are going on. But you kind of have to address it. And that's the bit where initially there's always going to be issues. And where I was saying before, it's not about things being hard, it's about things being uncomfortable. Your brain is always going to hate doing uncomfortable things. I think I'm saying the amygdala, it's part of your brain. It responds to uncomfortable situations and stress with a fight or flight response. It recognises it as almost danger. So you naturally want to recoil from it, or you'll either go for it or you'll recoil for it, but it creates that thing in your head, and that's why when people first start, it's so easy to make excuses. Like, if me and you said, right, from now on, we're done with weightlifting. We're going to go running 4 times a week. How many weeks before you make an excuse?
It's a tough one, because I think if I don't know, I think, I mean, I'll just play with it here, but yeah, it would be fast. Yeah.
Eventually, I'd make an excuse. Whether that's after 1 or 2 weeks, I'd find a reason, because for me, I'm not a runner, I don't like it. It's a hard thing to do. There's a lot of friction. So initially, I'm always going
weather. I'd be straight there. Yeah, it's raining now. Yeah. I'd be that'd be like, no. Even though I'm thinking now, like, well, actually, I've got quite a strong mindset, and if I did change my focus to that, I would go deep on it. But I hate weather, so just straight away, like, I would never ever go running in this.
And immediately you would justify it yourself as well, because we're very good at seeing where we've went wrong in the past. We're terrible at seeing where we're going wrong in the present. And you would sit there and you would convince yourself, and you would string yourself a story, and you would massage your little brain.
My hair might get wet.
And tell you that you've chosen not to do that thing for the most valid reasons in the world. And sitting from the outside in, totally rational, you can say, well, no, it's fucking hard. You don't want to go and do it, so you've dressed it up as a fucking reason. But the weather's actually no reason why you couldn't go for a run. But you do it anyway because it's difficult. And that's the same for people when they're trying to make changes. And depending on where they are, if someone's very, very unfit and very overweight, then starting to do any of this is a huge barrier, which again triggers that fight or flight response, and they make an excuse because it's really hard for them to do. But the only way to fix that is by keeping going. I think the best analogy would be like cold water. If you jump in an ice bath, it's like horrible. After 5 seconds, it's not so bad. After 10 seconds, after 30 seconds, you could just sit there. You get used to it.
Could you?
No, definitely. If you've ever been in like a plunge pool, like you just get to the point where you become numb to it, and it's the same with that initial difficulty.
Yeah.
Like with the running thing. So yeah, you might make an excuse after 2 weeks, but you kept going and you kept going and you kept going, and after 6 months, it's still the only type of training you can do. You're banned from everything else. Eventually, after a year, you'd probably be going running 4 times a week, pretty comfortable. You probably wouldn't even dislike it anymore, because you would become comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But you've got to get through the initial resistance, and this is where excuses come in. The very real things, the very justified, but that doesn't mean that it's not something we need to fix. It's still a huge problem, especially when, like I say, it's pushing you away from where you want to be. Before we jump into questions, otherwise I can go on all day with this.
With the thing, when you were saying stuff there, I was like, oh, I want to jump in on X, Y, Z, and yeah, I'll not, because we'll completely go off track as we normally do, Dan. But hey,
we'll pull it back round.
We will pull it back round.
Things I've said.
Yeah, because I need to try and make some mental notes of some of the things there. I've got a few like quotes and stuff like that, and we can just like elaborate from them. And obviously, I've got follow-up questions to go with them. So these are quotes. Like, these are generally like your excuses type quotes, what they can be. Some people will just post them all on your Instagrams, coaches will post them, whatever else. But these are generally like some of the quotes what you'll see. So excuses are the lies we tell ourselves so it doesn't sting when we quit. I'll let you elaborate on that and then I'll ask the follow-up question with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's hard with quotes to rationalise them because they are naturally very black and white. But it's essentially what we're saying before. You're trying to create a reason for not doing something that you're a little bit more comfortable with because it's ego protection. You never want to accept that the reason that you couldn't do something is because, I was going to say that you're not good enough, but it's not about that. You're not ready. That's probably the better language to use. I'm trying to use my coaching language here. It's not that you're not good enough, you're not ready. But you don't want to admit that because we never do. We never want to admit our own shortcomings. And again, there's a million reasons for that, mainly ego protection. So you create this little story in your mind of why you can't do it. And then that just makes it a little bit more palatable, which makes it far easier.
So follow-up question to that, like how would you spot someone who's like lying to themselves about why they're not making progress?
I mean, now it's a lot easier because of the app. In a sense of like years ago, when we didn't have all the data that we have now.
Yeah.
You kind of just take people's word for it. In the sense of I'm doing everything right, and you're kind of like, well, oh yeah, I don't know. But now with the app, it's like, well, I can go in and I can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not coming to your sessions, if you're not tracking your food, if you're not tracking your steps, if you're not doing the things that I'm asking you to do, then how can I possibly believe that you're trying your best?
Yeah.
And they sound easy things to do, and they're not. But rather than turn around and going like, I don't have time to get my steps in, like I can't be prepared enough to track my food, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, and all these little reasons that you say to fight off the guilt, own them, ask for help, ask for support, and try to come up with systems to address the issues, and that's what coaches are for. But immediately people go on the defensive. Well, I'm doing everything you've asked, and I'm not losing weight. And it's like, yeah, but when we actually look, you're not even close to doing what you've said you're supposed to be doing. And again, just having that data there makes that so much easier because you can actually show them. It's like, well, if you were doing everything I'd asked you to do, every week I'd have a check-in form.
Yeah.
Every week I'd have a full book of tracking. I'd have 10,000 steps every day, and you'd be hitting 4 sessions. Not many clients do all those things every day. I'd argue
Hardly.
me and you probably don't even do.
Yeah.
Most people, most of the time, I'd say our consistent clients will get the sessions in, and most of them will do the steps. The tracking is almost always hit and miss unless they're shredding.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reality because in order to maintain, 2 out of 3 will do it.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 will get you maintaining. If you're training hard and tracking really well, but your steps are a bit shit, you can maintain. If your steps are mint and you're training hard and your nutrition's a bit shit, you can maintain. If you want to be really progressing, you kind of have to be doing all 3, which, like you say, it's minimal, but it's trying to find that middle ground. And it comes back to what we say, the zone of proximal development, in the sense of, because of the scale of discomfort, you have to make it baby steps, because the more uncomfortable you feel, the more that little thing in your brain's telling you to make excuses and to run away from it. And I think we get that quite well in what we ask people to do, in the sense of, like, we aren't saying you've got to follow a diet plan and eat chicken and rice and veg like 5 times a day, and you've got to go and do 2 hours of cardio, and you've got to do this and do that, and you've got to do high intensity training, because straight away you're making people feel too uncomfortable. And most of our clients, there's only a small number of clients who we don't actually get doing everything right, which is why people stay for as long as they do. And I do think it's because it's not that we set the bar low, we just take away a lot of the unnecessary stuff and make it, most people are going to be able to come and do 3 or 4 weight sessions a week and quite enjoy it. It's not horrific. It's quite an enjoyable
That's why we
form
don't do 5.
It's quite an enjoyable form of training. It's probably enough of a balance 4 out of 7 days to fit it in around most people's lifestyle. Even 3 would still help you progress if you haven't been doing anything, definitely. So it's a small step, and it's about keeping it there. And again, where you're seeing like clients who are saying, I can't do any of it. It's like, well, right, well, we'll do 1.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We'll start there. Start getting into your 4 sessions. Don't worry about the rest of it. If you're not ready and you can't, if you don't have time, and sometimes you just have to massage the ego. Okay, you don't have time to do your steps.
Yeah.
I know they do. Everyone does. It's just priorities. And that's the thing. There's always time to do anything. It's just whether you're choosing to do something else instead of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you might massage the ego a little bit and go, yeah, you don't have time. Yeah, the food tracking is too hard for you at the minute. They could do it, but they're not ready to do it. So it's like, right, well, we'll get the steps in and breaking it down like that. Yeah.
I think going back to how do you spot someone when lying and where they're saying that they're doing everything right. I don't think it's actually sort of their fault in a way. I think they just expect more.
Yeah.
I think because we've been so conditioned into thinking we should be dropping 20 pounds in 4 weeks and all the rest of it. So when they are probably doing everything pretty much 90%, we'll say 90%, but they're only dropping £1 a week, or then the scales haven't moved for a week, and they think that effort, what they're putting in, is enough.
Yeah.
But it isn't, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, as much as they think that they are doing really well, I think a lot of the time it isn't their fault. And
it's about perception, isn't it? In the sense of if you haven't been doing it, for us, those things aren't hard.
Yeah.
And if you kind of think of a mountain, say this is thing, we might be standing here 20 foot below the peak, down here.
Yeah.
So to them it looks ginormous. To us it's not that big of a step.
We hit 10,000 anyway, don't we?
Yeah. Are you joking? I'm doing 10,000 steps a day. And
yeah.
I have done that, I haven't even noticed.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're superheroes or anything, we're just used to doing it.
Yeah.
And they're not, and it's they think because for them they are taking huge steps, they expect huge results, and that's not the reality of it. And it's you don't get many clients who are honest in the sense of, but on a few occasions where clients have actually been genuinely honest, which I'd prefer, it's well, truthfully, I'm coming to the gym 4 times a day, I think that should be enough.
Yeah.
And I can understand that. I can totally understand why, if you've gone from doing nothing and you're now going to the gym 4 times a week, you think that, well, that should be enough for me to get results. But unfortunately, it's probably not. It is, but you're not going to get them at the rate that you expect them.
Yeah.
Your results will accelerate at the same rate of your skill set. It's anything, the better you become at something, the better you become at it.
Yeah.
And it's inevitably, when you start, you're pretty shit at everything you're doing. You're not burning a massive amount of calories in the sessions because you're not massively strong yet. You're not massively capable of training at high intensities yet. With the tracking, you're probably not very good at tracking. You're under tracking, you're making mistakes because it's not something you've done for a while. And the same with the steps. You've been used to being completely inactive, so you think, Jesus Christ, all I do is walk.
Yeah.
But realistically, you probably spend about an hour a day moving.
Yeah.
And yeah, and this is the thing, it's a gradual process. It's that adaptation of, you have to stick with it for long enough to become comfortable with it. And the early stages are always going to be more difficult.
Yeah. When we mentioned Sandy at the start there, it's she's been a client for 11 years, and she knows she's learned, she's built the muscle, she's learned, and then whenever she needs to just turn it on, she's just yep, boom, and just does it. Yeah. And but because she's stuck at it that long enough, she's educated, and she knows shit doesn't just happen overnight. She knows how long things take, she knows the dedication, what it takes. So yeah.
But also, I can imagine it's really demotivating in the sense of me and you know that right, well, if we diet for 12 weeks, we know we're going to be looking mint at the end of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're massively overweight, you could diet and make these changes for a year, for 18 months. And it's going to be a long, long, long time before you get to where you want to go.
Oh, yeah.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
That's got to be really hard. And obviously, I know you've lost weight, I've been, and it's gradual, and it almost has to happen subconsciously. And it's really difficult because when you make that decision of, I'm going to start training, you want some sort of gratification from it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a long time. You almost just have to get in the habit of just turning to the gym. It's just something I do. I just go to the gym, and then over time, the language within the gym, for example, if you're coming in and everyone's going, I'm doing 15,000 steps, I'm doing 15,000 steps, you always think, it starts ticking in your head, and then over time, naturally, you'll just start doing a little bit more and a little bit more, and it almost becomes subconscious. And I think for these people who are further away, that's the type of thing they should be focusing on, rather than, I'm coming in and I'm going to be on it, because it's it's too big. It's too big of a jump. And the time that you can be that on point is very short for you anyway. the time that me and you can be that on point is very short. And if you've got 50, 60, 70 pound to lose, you can't be like on it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this conversation the other day with Kristen, for example, and she was saying like, she'll not mind this soon. She's like, I'm so angry that I didn't do this 6 months ago. I look at like what I've achieved in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Dieting and like with the shredding stuff. And I'm so angry that I wasted 6 months. I was like, you didn't waste 6 months though, because in those 6 months you were still coming to the gym.
Yeah.
You were getting close to 10,000 steps. And if you tried to be as strict as you're being now to get the results you're getting now, then you probably would have just burned out.
She wouldn't be a client?
Yeah, you would just burn out.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to recognize that these slow periods are actually essential.
Yeah.
And it's like, it comes back to the excuses, like we're saying, sometimes you just have to humor them because you have to recognize the phase that they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've taken on, I think, 2 people in the past who have wanted to do the shred. I want to do the shred straight away. It's like, when was the last time you trained? And both of them, one left after 6 weeks of being here, and one left after they'd done the shred.
Yeah. You can't do it. You can't do it. It's that thing I was saying before about the zone of proximal development. When you go that far, it's too much. Your brain's just going, get out. And obviously they'll find an excuse to bail because it's just too much. It's too much.
We will get through the questions. Sweet. I mean, they're not questions really. They're more discussions out there.
I'll try to be more.
No. But this is what you want. Like there's so much in every single thing there, and friction's a huge one. Like for everybody. Like I mean, how many times have we talked about friction in the past? And like I've even made videos for in the group how to make your steps frictionless, how to make getting to your sessions frictionless, just leaving your kit out. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's all of these things.
But I think a lot of people just don't realise why they make excuses.
Yeah.
Because in your head you validate them. You recognise is that as a reality, and even just challenging that and listening to this and listening to us talk about the reason behind it will make you question your own excuses, and it makes you look at things differently, which is what we're here to do essentially, isn't it?
Side one, what's the biggest excuses you make? Or what? Like
the thing is, it's a hard one because I can tell you loads of excuses I've made in the past.
Yeah.
But when I was thinking about this, it's really hard to think of excuses you're making in the present. And it's really hard. Like I was trying and like, you're sitting there saying, well, I'm pretty good at but there will be. Right. But it's really hard to think of them. Like I really struggled. Like I know obviously I will make excuses and some things, but I'm really struggling. Like, I can think of a lot of examples like we were saying before where I avoid situations I don't want to be in, social things like that. But that's probably not what we're looking for. I'm trying to think of almost negative excuses, like excuses that I make that push me further away from the person that I want to be. It's quite hard.
I know mine.
What's yours?
Mine's phone calls with companies. So basically, I've got in me Asana at the minute. So EE, they've been like billing us for loads of daft shit. And like Sarah tasked us it. I think last Monday, and it's Wednesday today, and I keep moving it and moving it.
Those sorts of tasks I'm horrific with. Like, if Hope asks us to do the clean, or asks us to do something, or like selling my car, there you go, selling my car.
Right.
I bought the camper van, it took us 7 months to put my car up for sale.
Right.
Just sat there, £6,000 car, just sat there, just depreciating. Just because I didn't have time, and of course I had fucking time to sell my car, but in my head I'd rather be focusing on work or training or other things, and like, they're not negative things that I'm focusing on instead, but like any sort of day-to-day admin I'm horrific with, like just general life stuff, the gardening, tidying, stuff like that, like I need to go and get the camper valeted, like any of those sorts of things I'm horrific with.
They just keep getting pushed and pushed and pushed.
Yeah, like, and I justify it because I'm choosing to do more important things.
Yeah.
But they're only more important to me. And it's like where if someone chooses to sit and watch a Netflix documentary rather than going for a walk, it's because that's just more of a priority to them. It's the same thing, but because that aligns with my ambitions, it's easy to justify it to yourself.
But it is an excuse,
isn't it?
It's the same.
That's what I'm saying. We all make them. And it's easy, like I said, when we discuss health and fitness, it's easy to be high and mighty.
Yeah.
And just to look like we've got our fucking shit nailed down. But that's because this is our thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In other aspects of our life, it might be chaos.
The thing, but I think the thing that people have got to, they probably don't know about me and you are from villages, right?
Yeah.
Where drinking, drugs, whatever,
Oh, definitely.
fish fingers, chips and beans, deep fried foods, fishy chips Friday, Chinese Thursday. We were brought up in that environment.
That was our normal.
Yeah, our parents weren't athletes or anything like that. Me and Dan, like I went through an overweight stage, Dan did as well, and yeah, I think people need to realise like we really actually know what the majority of people come through.
We weren't the kids of middle class families who you see wandering around the Lake Districts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
climbing mountains and doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The only things we did on the weekend was drink bottles of cider.
Yeah. And I think that's what people like. And obviously, it is. We can say, "Oh, well, all high and mighty," but we have been in this industry a long time. We're like 24 years between us in this industry. Do you know what? 20. A long time between us. So it's like it always probably seems where we can say, "Oh, bullshit excuse," whatever. We've seen it all.
And it's like I was going to say, drinking's a good example. It's like last weekend, like I know I felt a bit cabin fevery. I think like I'd kind of had like 3 weeks where I hadn't done anything at the weekend because Hope's obviously died, and so like obviously I work close to home. I spend a lot of time at home, and it's like for 3 weeks almost I hadn't left my village. I hadn't done anything other than go to the gym, come back home, do my work. Weren't going anywhere on weekends. Weren't doing anything. And I was like I should go out. And like trying to convince myself, like I need to go and socialise. I need to go out and have a drink or whatever. And you're like in that battle of like, I know I should go out because I think it'll be good for us to go and talk to other people and to just get out my bubble. But then you're like, but I don't want to drink because drinking's bad. Like because in your head how you frame it. But then you think 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought twice. It's a Saturday.
No.
Of course I'm going out. And it's like it's that evolution of like how your priorities change, how your perceptions change, how your ideas change. And like to be honest, it probably wouldn't have done as good to just go out for a bit.
Yeah.
But like it's then you make then you go the other way, and you can go too far the other way.
Yeah.
Definitely, you can go too far, like avoiding bad things as much as you can avoiding good things. And it's all a bigger picture. It's not just about you need to do this and being authoritarian. We all have struggles. We all have things that we struggle to do, that we struggle to get ourselves to do. We all have little battles inside our own head. And that isn't unique to clients, but they come to us and they pay us to help us fix their issues.
Yeah.
If I went to a fucking psychologist and paid them to help fix my issues, then they'd be sitting there sounding all high and mighty and virtuous because they're there to help us. Same as we're there to help clients. It's like if someone's doing this and they don't care about being fit and healthy, they just literally want to get into the pub, get wrecked and crack on their life, and they're happy doing that. Great, I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone has to be anything or do anything, but the people who come to us are obviously struggling with it, and it's our job to help them navigate these excuses. So it always comes from the point of wanting to help clients, not vilify them.
Yeah.
We're not here to say that you're useless and you're lazy and you're ill-disciplined. We're here to address the issues, which are real, and find ways around them.
Be a fucking hell of a lot easier if they just said, look, I'm just happy with it coming into sessions.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's hard when I think it's that guilt thing. If you're at the stage where you are just happy doing that, or you've maybe just started and everyone else is like fucking on it.
Yeah.
If you've got like a few people in your class doing the shred and they're like fucking turbo, you're inevitably going to feel guilty. You're going to feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But it's not your time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to accept that. Everyone always thinks they're the star of the show. It's their time. It's always their time. But
you only have one universe.
Yeah, sometimes
it's in your head.
Of course, so people say like main character syndrome. Say we've all got we're all the main character
Yeah,
in our
we are,
lives.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll only see it. Like, of course, we're the most important people in our world. We are. It's our
exactly.
world. And it's sometimes just hard to accept that you're not there. So then again, excuses. You make the excuses to justify it and to explain to yourself why you're not doing what you feel like you should be doing.
Sweet. This one I've heard loads. I feel as though this one's cheesy, but everybody's probably saying this one. You can have results or you can have excuses, but never both.
Yeah, I mean, it comes, one of my favourite things that I like to say to clients is like the outcome never lies. The outcome can't be wrong.
Yes, yeah.
So if you say, well, I'm in a calorie deficit, and you step on the scales and the weight's going up, you can't be in a calorie deficit. It's only the input that can be wrong.
Yeah.
So you might say, well, I've tracked 1,500 calories a day, I've done 15,000 steps, the weight's not going down. But that can't be wrong. The outcome can't be wrong. So something you're inputting, the steps can't be wrong, because it's not. So where's the problem? Well, the problem is you're under tracking, you're making mistakes, you're missing things out, you're not weighing things. And it's like the outcome can never be wrong. And that's fine. Like, again, it's not like trying to say you're a liar.
Yeah.
We're just trying to help people uncover where they're going wrong.
Yeah.
It's not that they're trying to deceive us or they're doing something nasty or malicious. They're just making mistakes, which we all make. How often do you under-track stuff? I do it all the time.
Yeah.
And like, we're experienced as you can be, and it's about unpicking problems. But I always say that to explain to them, and it's like, it can never just be wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not losing weight, it's not for no reason. Like, if you can't, it's impossible to do everything right and not get results.
Yeah.
Something's going wrong.
And I think it's taking, it's hard for, it's easy for us to take ownership of if we stepped on the scales, we would just go, like, well, now what I did, like either we know what we did or it's, oh shit, what needs changing here then? And that's how we look at it. But from the general pop, like for them to be able to do that. I mean, we used to have actually, I remember when we used to weigh people and stuff like that, and some of the lads were just like, yeah, I know what I did, went out at the weekend, blah, blah, blah. And like, and then some people, I don't know what I've done wrong. But it's like, it's not that you haven't, it's just saying what I said before, like they think that it should be easier to get those results. And yeah, it's always.
And then I always, and I know everyone has their own different coaching styles. I always get my clients to weigh every day, every single day, because I think it was like ripping a bandage off. Like, I want them, like, it hurts. You think you're doing well and you jump up and it's gone up and it hurts. And it's thing, but I'm trying to desensitize them to it, because it's like, we know, like, if scales are going up, like, day to day, like, of course they are.
Yeah.
It's like, I always think of like me sponge theory.
Yes,
You've got a sponge, dip it in water, weigh it, take it out, wring it out, weigh it again. It's going to be heavier and lighter, depending on how much water you put in or weigh out each time. But there's no more sponge. And it's like, in a day or 2 days or even in a week, there's not going to be a massive change to the amount of fat or the amount of muscle on your body. It's just fluid balance.
Yeah.
And it's like, by getting them to weigh it every day, and it's like, I'm 5 pound up the day. It's like, you are. And then I'll show them a little blob of 5 pound, blob of fat. And it's like, right, what, you think you've put 5 of them or not? Like, and it's just, you almost make a joke of it, and it's like, I'm trying to desensitize them to the scales. And once they become desensitized to that, they don't have to make an excuse anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just one less thing that they have to try to justify, try to lie to themselves about. And it's like that, if you can sort of apply that to anything, you don't need to make an excuse. And if I can find those sort of examples within every aspect of the coaching about why they don't need to make an excuse to justify it, why it's okay to just have a bad day. It's okay. You went out the weekend, you had a fucking takeaway. Great.
Yeah.
You're a fucking human being. You're not a professional bodybuilder. Like, you've got a life. Like, it's fine. Just own it.
Yeah.
It just happened. It's fine. You don't need to lie about it. And I think just getting out of that habit of making the excuses helps massively.
Yeah. I like the daily weigh-ins. And it is hard, but same again, we're from a diet and era of like scales.
Yeah.
But like, I'm on the scales don't lie.
Yeah. Not when you're losing weight.
Not when.
I mean, that's
exactly.
probably one of the biggest lies people tell themselves. It's like, I'm gaining muscle.
Yeah.
I'm gaining muscle, but so my weight's not going down, I'm losing fat and gaining muscle.
Yeah.
It's like, when people start, it does, there's an element of recomposition, definitely. You can recomposition your body at maintenance, but it's like when you're specifically trying to lose weight, you need to be seeing that number going down. Like, for our shred clients, the number needs to be going down.
Yeah. Well, your hope messages the other day about creatine.
Yes.
And she said about like of the water retention. I says, okay, but even if it does, that's what it's supposed to be doing.
Of course.
And I says like you're still going to be losing like fat, but yes, your body weight might. Like I was saying, it's such a small percentage of water what it holds in anyway. But even if it does, that's what it's supposed to be doing to help you get through those extra reps.
So even though you're suddenly going to be a couple of pounds heavier, it doesn't matter, because it's still going to continue going down.
Yeah.
It's just now that weight's just went like that because you're just holding a bit more water.
Yeah.
But it's that psychological guilt of like, well, I don't want them to think that I've gone back over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've suddenly put weight on.
Yeah. Because she says, oh, like, does it hold water? And it was like, well, even if it does, That's what
it doesn't matter. You're still
Yeah.
going to get leaner, and it's just applying the rationale. But again, it comes back to that that guilt about perception. You always want to be seen to be doing
Yeah.
the right thing. You never want your coach thinking, fucking hell, they've been on the fucking kebabs this. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When there's a reason for it.
Because it was that one post I put on the other day about like your carbs. When you're eating carbs and holds water, that's what your body is doing.
Yeah.
It's doing it on purpose. It's a natural thing.
It's the same as like bigger people. Bigger people are going to have bigger fluctuations.
Yeah,
You've got
exactly.
more weight, of course.
Yeah.
Like for someone who's like, when I was a lot heavier, my weight would be £10 lighter one day.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Up or down, because I was a much bigger person, which means I've probably got more muscle. You're probably holding more water. It fluctuates more wildly. Someone who's teeny tiny, it's only going to fluctuate maybe 1 or 2 pounds.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly.
But it's fine. You don't need to make excuses about these things.
God,
Understand it.
I think over the last few weeks, mine jumped up like 2 kilos the other day, and a few weeks ago it did 3 kilos, I think, within 3 days. Yeah. And it's like, imagine the panic attack someone would have over that.
That's the thing.
And I'm just like, whoa! It's like, that's mad.
And it's about becoming desensitized, and that desensitization removes the need for excuses, which is what we're trying to do.
Which one was that? You can have results, so you can have excuses. I don't even need to follow up onto that. Let's have a look. Reality doesn't care about your story, don't you? Reality doesn't care about your story. It only measures your actions. You have just elaborated on that one, really, haven't you?
Yeah, we kind of covered it in a sense of like, it's regardless of how we explain things to ourselves, if you're not getting the outcome you want, something needs to change.
Yeah.
Regardless of how brutal that might be or how difficult it might be, if you want the result, you have to find a way to fix the problem.
And the follow-up question would have been, how do you tell clients bridge the gap? But it's like, if the results there, it's like weigh yourself every day, stuff like that, yeah. Where are we at on this one? Go for one more then. Discipline. Actually, I'll go down them and you tell us which one you find the best. Discipline weighs ounces. Excuses weigh tons.
I'm not sure how to perceive that one. Whether it means like...
With the follow-up question would be, what daily disciplines do you think have the biggest impact over time in training as well?
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously the consistency.
It's like a 1% thing, isn't it? That discipline weighs ounces, excuses weigh tons.
Yeah. But also, does it mean like the mental weight? In a sense of like, yes, it might be difficult to force yourself to the gym. It might be difficult to force yourself to do steps. And they are difficult things that are going to make your life a bit tougher. But do they make it as tough as like the constant overwhelming guilt and anxiety of not doing the thing that you want to do? Like I was saying about the cognitive dissonance, like when you really if you really aspire to be a fit and healthy person and you're constantly letting yourself down and constantly acting in ways that do not support that goal, that's a fucking massive mental burden. It really is.
Yeah.
And I think where it's like weighs tons, that's going to weigh you down more as a person and make you a more miserable person than just taking you out to go for a walk or taking the extra 20 minutes to prep your food or getting up an hour early to go to the gym. Like that mental burden's actually making your life worse than just doing the difficult thing in the first place.
I think that a good follow-up quote to this one is, what's that one about missing a workout? The only workout you regret is the one you never did.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the same with those, like going out for a 20-minute walk, like not turning up to the gym. Like you're making the excuse in the moment, but then you're feeling so guilty for it. When if you did it and you're like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah. Once you get over, like it's like getting out of bed, it's tough. I mean, you'll be the same. It's got dark now, so it's always a little bit harder to get yourself up and stuff on the morning. You feel a little bit more groggy because your body's telling you I shouldn't be awake. It's pitch black outside. But like that initial getting up might last 10 minutes till you get yourself or wash your face, and then you're fine. It's hard, but it's hard for 10 minutes. If you lie in bed and you wake up and you get the guilt of like knowing that you've slept through, that's going to weigh on you infinitely longer. And it's almost just accept that initial like do something hard.
The initial pain. Yeah, it is. It's that initial pain.
Because you'll suffer more up here than you will physically from doing stuff. And that's going to be a lot harder to deal with, especially if it becomes like, it's like that cycle of failure, where like you're almost looking for an excuse to fail before you've failed because you've failed that many times before, and it like creates like a spiral in a person.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just try to find ways to make it easier to just do the hard thing initially rather than letting it build behind the scenes.
I mean, us in the Northeast, morning people, morning trainers, they have to, I mean, we start at 6 a.m. Yeah. So like the first session, 6 a.m. Yours is 5 to 6.
Yeah.
6 a.m. 6 a.m. Like they've got to get out of bed, say 5:15, have a coffee, whatever else, get dressed, get out the house. And then winter's coming. They've got to like defrost the car and then actually get to the gym, push themselves through a fucking workout. There's so much friction in all of that. But once it's done, it's like, that was meant.
It'll feel great.
But there's a fucking hell of a lot of excuses to be made, isn't there?
Of course,
between
it's
that.
very easy to do. I think I had this conversation the other day. We were on about like getting up and routines, and like some people just literally roll out of bed straight on. And I always say, like, I get to the gym between 5 and 15, and it's probably my favourite hour of the day. I sit with me coffee, I get me day lined up, and I'll do me fucking posts, and like, and I love that slow start. And it's like, to me, there's nothing worse than my day like coming at us too quickly. Like for me, walking through the door and like having clients pretty much following us and having to set sessions up, and like it would stress me out so much. And it's like, for me to be happy in my day, it's so much easier to just take the initial hit of getting out of bed half an hour earlier than to like have me day slapping us in the face from 6 o'clock. So I'm going to be in a bad mood all day. And it's recognising that and weighing up what's easier, what's harder.
Well, that's why I'm an annoying fucking here, because people are coming through these doors and I'm fucking skippity lamb fucking jumping about the place, but it's because I've taken that time. So I'm like, exactly like you, I have my coffee and the peace in the house. Like I'm getting up half an hour earlier than what probably other people are doing. Do you know what I mean? Have me coffee, have me chill, do like me little task, like me to-do list. And then I'll come in here, like I'll be in here before all the coaches. And like I'm already set up. You want a coffee? You want a coffee?
So
you want a coffee?
Like you're coming at your day rather than your day coming at you.
Yeah.
And like for us, that's a psychological thing of it would be so easy to just make the excuse of, well, it's tired, I'm dark, I'll stop in bed 15 minutes, but it's going to make our day shit.
Yeah.
It's like, just get on with it, and it's going to improve by doing that.
Sound? I think that went a lot deeper than I thought. And plus we only got through 2 questions, but it's like, I really...
I mean, there's a lot of them are quite similar. We've covered a lot of it. I mean, I don't know if you just want to read the quotes out.
Should I go through them?
Just go through them, and then they're there. Just one or two of them might just click with people.
Yeah. So the ones that I missed out. Excuses keep you comfortable. Reality keeps you accountable. Excuses keeps you comfortable. Reality keeps you accountable. Yeah, I actually like that one. Every excuse is a small betrayal of the future you say you want. Yeah.
I mean, they're all relevant.
They are
I think
actually,
kind of, they're probably more use. It's probably more use going through them at the end than it was at the beginning. I think if we went through at the beginning, there's no context to them.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I think with everything we've went through, they carry a lot more weight because people can recognise what we're trying to say. Whereas I think people would have been dismissive of them at the start. Because they're like, fuck you. But then when you actually think, and it's like, well, no, because that makes sense because of this, this, and this.
Yeah. The body hears what the mind whispers. Excuses become limits. The body hears what the mind whispers. Excuses become limits. Oh yeah, all right. In my head, like when I read them, it is like I look down. It is, but just people like
they are cringy.
Excuses are built in the imagination. Results are built in the gym. Oh, that's our quote, Dan. I think that's what the title for this one should be.
People post them without any sort of
context.
Yeah, but without also being a little bit tongue-in-cheek with it. And it's like, how often do you see like trainers posting these proper like aggressive, like, doesn't fucking help anyone.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't help anyone.
I posted some yesterday. It was grow up.
Yeah, but then you applied context.
Yeah, I applied a little context, but mine weren't these things. Mine were literally words what I say to people: grow up, crack the fuck on. and pack it in. It's not like, it wasn't, these are like trying to like sound intelligent at the same time, aren't they? Excuses sound best to the person who's making them. That's your own universe, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, they always sound...
It comes back to that, it's a self-preservation thing. You're trying to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Well, protect your mind.
Which, like where we said there, we make loads of excuses ourselves, and yet when people are making excuses to us, we're like, fucking man, an excuse. But them are the same as us.
I was right.
Yeah, well, exactly. But they'd be saying to you, like, well, you could have sold that car 7 months ago, you idiot. Do you know what I mean? Last one. Reality is undefeated. It shows exactly what you did, not what you meant to do. Reality is undefeated. It shows exactly what you did, not what you meant to do.
Yeah, I think that goes back to obviously what we were saying before about the results don't lie, but also it's like, how often do you hear of like, I tried, I wanted it, and it's like, well, it doesn't, it's just matter. Like, I hate the word try. I know I've said it a million times before. It's just, it's so pointless. Everybody says it, and it's absolutely pointless because it means nothing.
Yeah.
You either did something or you didn't. If you didn't do something, that's fine. It's fine. If you did it, great, that's fine. But the adding the try in is literally just that, what we're saying of like cognitive easing. You just try to like lube it up so it goes in a little bit easier. It's just pointless. It's absolutely pointless.
I got that quote from Ben, actually. Have you actually tried trying?
Well, yeah. It's like...
Because everyone says that they've tried, but have you actually fucking tried trying?
Yeah.
Innit?
It's a weird one.
So I hope you're taking some big insights away from that. I actually have. When I come up with it, I was like...
I know it's a slightly different thing, but when we're about like things clicking, like quotes and stuff, I was listening to, it was a footballer podcast. It was nothing to do with work. It was just something I had in the background, and someone was on, and it kind of reframed things in my mind. And not about like, he was on about success in his career and things like that. And he's like, I always tried to frame it as like, what if it happens? What if I do it?
Yeah.
Rather than, what if I don't? He was on with penalties.
Yes,
he was like,
yeah.
He was like, I was never nervous because I never approached it thinking, what if I miss? What if I miss and like, everyone's going to be booing us and everyone's going to hate us? It was always like, my family is sitting over there in that box. I'm going to step up and I'm going to whack that in the top corner and I'm going to be the hero. We're going to go and celebrate. And like, I'm the most pessimistic thinker ever. In the sense that if I approach something, I always think of it from the possibility of what happens if I fail. Yeah. What happens if this goes wrong? And it kind of clicked in my brain about like thinking like, what happens if it goes right?
Yeah.
And like, it was just something, I know it's unrelated, but it was something that actually clicked in my brain. I thought like, I really like that, and I've tried to implement in terms of, rather than approach to thinking, what if I go wrong? What if it goes well?
Yeah.
Like, do you mean, think of all the positive things that could happen if I do it?
Yeah.
And it kind of comes back to that, it's something, a way of reframing something rather than thinking like, oh, like, if I'm going to sleep in from the gym, I'm going to feel shit. It's like, what if I get up? What if I get up and go 4 times a week?
Yeah.
What's going to happen to my body? What happens if I do track my food, like, and then I start seeing the results on the scales every day that I want to see? How's that going to make me feel? What happens if I do go for the walk and I do get me 10,000 steps in, and now I'm the person that's sitting there every day doing everything that I'm supposed to do and feeling fucking great because I don't have the guilt hanging over us of talking myself out of it? Yeah, it's just a different way of reframing things in your mind rather than reaching your excuse bag.
I use that one, but I always say, what if I don't fail?
Yeah, it's obviously the same thing, but it is. It's like it was just a different way of approaching a situation, and I thought like, never thought like that before.
Just fucking go for
it. Yeah, I liked it. I did.
Sound? Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that one. See you next week. Yay.